Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. A few days ago, we published a presentation on our YouTube channel, the link of which is included in the description to this podcast episode, which was intended to debunk rumors that documents that were published onto the court docket and then removed on December 30th, 2025 were leaked to the public, were the result of someone who's going to be in trouble, that someone may have even been fired as a result of the same. That presentation included the receipts, pinpointed to the record that that is false, a false rumor. The documents that were released on December 30th and then pulled from the court docket were ordered to be released without redactions, citing to both the third order, asking the parties for their feedback on whether or not to unseal documents with or without redactions, or to continue maintaining their sealed status. That document was issued October 16th, 2025. Both sides provided their feedback. The defense did completely under seal for reasons that still are unknown on the 29th of October. The state's responses are available for you to review on the public docket dated October 30th, 2025. The very first document that appears on the court docket for 2026 provides some additional feedback as to what exactly happened on December 30th, 2025, why those documents may have been pulled. It is the January 5th, 2026 order sealing State supplemental motion to reconsider unsealing of certain records. Based upon the state's supplemental motion to reconsider unsealing certain records and motion to seal filed therein, the court does hereby confirm and order that state's supplemental motion to reconsider unsealing certain records is exempt from disclosure and is sealed pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32, G1, for the reasons stated in said motion. So ordered this 5th day of January 2026. Judge Stephen J. Hippler's signature appears at the bottom. If I could make some comments here, provide some opinions. The long-standing sealing of documents in this case is continuing even 6+ months after Mr. Kohberger pled guilty, as he did back on July 2nd, 2025, which simultaneously canceled the trial, then set for August, when the public understood that finally, after 2.5 years of document after document after document, including evidence being withheld from the public, in order after order to seal documents from the public, would finally then be lifted, and the public would then have an opportunity to understand what is the evidence that the state of Idaho had to prove that Mr. Kohberger was not just guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in this capital case, but was the sole person responsible for the crimes that occurred at 1122 King Road back on November 13th, 2022. In other words, that it was him and only him, that there was no accessory before the fact, no accessory after the fact, no co-conspirator, no alternative perpetrator. Secondly, this order tells us is that there is a supplemental, meaning that this is something that supplements, that adds to something that was filed before. Supplemental motion to reconsider unsealing. If we look at the case summary page for the late 2025, you will see that there were a few filings that the state of Idaho submitted regarding this third court order for the months of January, February, and March. Go back to the 30th of October to see what their objections were to the unsealing of January through March 2025 records. Secondly, if you look further down on the case summary page, you will see a November 25th, 2025 state's request for decision without hearing. Then you're going to see December 18th, before the court made its ruling later that day of what documents would be unsealed, redacted, and or maintained sealed status, that the order sealing state's motion to reconsider unsealing of certain records was entered into the record, followed by the December 18th order unsealing, redacting, and or maintaining sealed status of documents 88 through 179. So in other words, the court went ahead and made its ruling after receiving, number one, the state's objections back on October 30th. Number two, after receiving this state's request for a decision without a hearing. And number three, after receiving state's motion to reconsider unsealing of certain records. This, combined with what was published yesterday onto the court docket, may have solved the mystery of why exactly this third court order is taking so long to finally resolve. We had previously pointed out that the first two orders did not take this long to resolve, and that those documents that were ordered to be unsealed relative to the first two court orders began popping up onto the docket shortly after Judge Hippler made his rulings. We're going to continue to monitor this situation, and we'll provide you with further details as they arise. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.